I am writing this because if I don't put it down somewhere, I am going to lose my mind. My name is Sarah. On paper, I am a high-flying CEO, a director of multiple holdings, and a woman who moves billions of naira. In reality, I am sitting in the dark in a kitchen in Oniru, listening to the hum of a silent generator, wondering if the police will come before the sun rises. It started on Thursday, February 12th, a normal Thursday. I was wearing a silk wrap dress I bought in London last summer. I went to the bank to fix a simple incorrect PIN issue on my secondary card. I've been a private wealth client there for 5 years. Usually, they usher me into the VIP lounge, give me a chilled bottle of water, and call me madam. Not that day. The teller looked at her screen, turned pale, and whispered to her supervisor. They didn't look at me. They looked through me. They walked me to the back office of the manager, Mr. Adeyemi. He's a man who has been at our house for New Year's parties. He's eaten my jollof rice. He's laughed with my husband, David. He didn't offer me water. He didn't even sit down at first. He just pushed a printed letter across the mahogany desk. It was heavy, high grammage paper. Mrs. Okoro, he said. His voice was shaking. We received a directive from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, this morning. A post-no debit order has been placed on all accounts linked to your BVN, personal, business, and anywhere you are a signatory. I blinked. PND, why? Is there a mistake with the taxes? He looked at me with this look. It was a mixture of pity and absolute terror. It's not taxes, Sarah. It's an investigation into Sarah Jade Global and Okoro Vest. They are tracking a series of unusual transfers from the Ministry of Power and some private oil contracts. The total is, it's in the billions. I laughed. I actually laughed. I don't know what Sarah Jade Global is, Mr. Adeyemi. I have a kids' clothing boutique in Lekki Phase 1. That's it. He didn't laugh back. He pulled out a file. Inside were incorporation documents from the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC. There was my passport photograph. There was my signature, not a forgery, my actual signature, the one with the slight loop on the S. The dates, I looked at the dates, October 2022, January 2023, May 2024. I felt the room start to spin. Those were the weekends David told me to go to the spa. Those were the nights he brought home legal formalities for me to sign over dinner because he was restructuring the family trust. I walked out of that bank in a daze. My driver, Sunday, saw my face and asked if I was okay. I couldn't answer. I sat in the back of the Range Rover, the 2024 model David got me for our 10th anniversary, and I felt like I was sitting in a coffin. I looked at the leather seats. I looked at the screens in the headrests. I realized then that I wasn't a wife. I was a front. I was the person who was going to jail so that he could keep the house. To understand how I got here, you have to understand where I came from. I didn't grow up in this world. I grew up in a face me, I face you in Owerri. The kind where you have to schedule when you use the shared bathroom. My mother was a saint. She sold akara by the roadside from 4 a.m. until the sun went down. My father drove a keke napep. He'd come home smelling of petrol and exhaust every single night. I worked my soul out to get a scholarship to Unilag. I was the smart girl. I was the one who was going to change the family's destiny. When I met David in my final year, he wasn't the chairman. He was just a guy with a vision. He had one blue suit that was shiny at the elbows because he wore it so much. I loved him. God, I loved him. We lived in a one-bedroom flat in Yaba where the ceiling leaked every time it rained. I would place buckets on the floor and would laugh about it while I cooked him egusi soup on a single burner stove. I spent my nights proofreading his proposals, editing his emails, and praying with him. He used to hold my hands and say, "Sarah, you are my backbone. I am building this for you." And he did build it, but somewhere along the line, the building became more important than the person he was building it for. The change didn't happen overnight. It happened in small deaths. The first death was in 2018 when we moved from Yaba to a 3-bedroom in Ikeja GRA. David got his first major contract, a consulting deal with a state government worth 50 million naira. I was so proud of him. I threw a small dinner party. I invited his mentors, our church members, people who had supported us. I wore a green Ankara dress I'd sewn myself because we still couldn't afford the expensive designers yet. During the dinner, David stood up to give a speech. He thanked God. He thanked his strategic partners. He thanked his lawyer. He thanked the governor's aide who had connected him. He sat down without mentioning me once. Not once. When I brought it up later that night as we were getting ready for bed, he looked genuinely confused. "Sarah, everyone knows you're my wife. I don't need to announce it like you're a business partner." But that's exactly what I had been. For 5 years, I was the one who formatted his proposals at 2 a.m. I was the one who pawned my mother's gold chain so he could afford a decent laptop for presentations. I was the one who sweet-talked landlords when we were 3 months behind on rent, and now that the harvest was coming, I wasn't even a footnote. The second death was in 2020. COVID-19 hit, and while the world was falling apart, David's business exploded. Suddenly, everyone needed PPE, and David knew someone who knew someone in China. We moved to a 4-bedroom duplex in Lekki Phase 1. He bought his first Land Cruiser. He hired a driver, a cook, and a gate man. I woke up one morning and realized I hadn't cooked a meal in 6 weeks. My hands felt useless. I tried to talk to him about maybe starting something of my own. I mentioned the children's clothing boutique idea. I'd always loved fashion. I thought maybe I could do something small, something mine. "Sarah, why do you need to work?" he asked. He was signing documents at the dining table. He didn't even look up. "I'm bringing in 30 million a month now. Just enjoy yourself. Go to the salon, join a book club, take the kids to the park." I became a decoration, a very expensive, very well-maintained decoration. The third death was in 2021 when we moved to the Oniru mansion. 5 bedrooms, cinema room, gym, wine cellar, a swimming pool that cost 12 million naira to install. The master bedroom alone was bigger than our entire Yaba flat. I should have been happy. I should have been grateful. But every night, I would walk through those marble hallways and feel like I was disappearing. David started coming home later and later. First, it was 9 p.m., then 10 p.m., then midnight. When I would try to wait up for him, he'd be irritated. "Sarah, I've been in meetings all day. I'm exhausted. Can we not do this let's talk about our feelings thing tonight?" The children barely saw him. Tobena, our son, stopped asking when daddy would be home. Adana, our daughter, started calling Sunday uncle more than she called David daddy. I was raising our children alone in a house that cost 200 million naira, and I'd never felt poorer. By 2022, we were living completely separate lives under the same roof. David had his office. I had my bedroom. We'd cross paths at breakfast sometimes, but even then, his phone was in his hand. He was always forwarding emails, always on a conference call, always managing a crisis. I tried everything. I tried buying lingerie, the expensive kind from Agent Provocateur that I ordered online. I tried booking a surprise weekend at La Campagne Tropicana. I tried making his favorite meals. Nothing worked. He'd thank me politely, the way you'd thank a hotel concierge, and then return to his laptop. That's when the papers really started coming. At first, they seemed innocent enough. Sarah, sign here. It's for the children's school fees account. The bank needs both our signatures. Sarah, this is just a renewal of our wedding insurance policy. Don't bother reading it. It's the same as last year. Sarah, I'm moving some assets around for tax purposes. This is just a formality to add you as a director. It's actually good for you. It means you have access to more capital if you need it. I signed them all. I signed them because I trusted him. I signed them because I was tired of feeling useless, and being a director of something made me feel like maybe I still mattered. I signed them because I was lonely, and the only time David touched me anymore was to hand me a pen. I didn't read them. I should have. God, I should have. But after years of being told I didn't need to work, didn't need to think about money, didn't need to worry about business, I'd lost the instinct to protect myself. I'd become exactly what he needed me to be: compliant, grateful, and blind. Then came Kola. I met him at ShopRite in Lekki on a Tuesday afternoon in August 2023. I was staring at the wine section, trying to decide between a Merlot and a Shiraz, feeling completely empty. I couldn't even remember the last time David and I had shared a bottle of wine. The bottles in our wine cellar were just collecting dust trophies of a lifestyle we performed but didn't live. The Shiraz, a voice said beside me, "If you're deciding between the two." I turned. He was just a guy in a simple linen shirt and jeans. He had kind eyes. He wasn't particularly handsome, but there was something warm about him, something real. "Are you a sommelier?" I asked, trying to smile. "No, just a man who's made the wrong wine choice enough times to know the right one." He laughed. It was a genuine laugh, not the polished, strategic laugh I was used to hearing at David's networking events. We started talking, just talking. He asked me what I was cooking. I told him I wasn't cooking anything, that we had a chef. I don't know why I felt embarrassed saying it. He asked me if I missed cooking. I froze. Nobody had asked me what I missed in years. "I used to love it," I said quietly. "I used to make this egusi soup that my husband loved. I'd cook it every Sunday." "Used to? We have staff now." He looked at me for a long moment. "That must be nice." "It is," I lied. He smiled like he knew I was lying. "I'm Kola, by the way. Sarah." We exchanged numbers. I told myself it was harmless. I told myself it was just nice to have an adult conversation that wasn't about school fees or when the gate man's salary was due. He texted me the next morning. "Good morning, Sarah. Did you end up making anything with that Shiraz, or did your chef handle it?" I laughed. I actually laughed out loud, standing in my enormous kitchen holding my phone. The cook, Mrs. Adebayo, looked at me strangely. We started texting every day. He'd send me pictures of terrible traffic on 3rd Mainland Bridge with captions like, "This is God's way of teaching patience." He'd ask me about my day. He'd actually wait for my answer. He didn't interrupt. He didn't check his watch. He didn't treat my words like they were wasting his time. 3 weeks later, we met for coffee at a cafe in Lekki. I told David I was meeting an old friend from university. He didn't even look up from his laptop. "Take money from my wallet," he said, "and be back before the kids get home from school." I didn't take his money. I used my own card. It felt important, somehow, to pay for my own coffee with a man who actually looked at me when I spoke. Kola asked me about my life, not my husband's life, not my house, not my car. He asked me about me. What did you study at Unilag? Economics. Do you still follow the markets? I blinked. I hadn't thought about economic policy or market trends in 5 years. I used to read the business papers every morning. What happened? I got married. I got busy. He leaned forward. Sarah, I remember you. You probably don't remember me, but I was at a business seminar in 2017. Your husband was speaking. You were in the audience, and during the Q&A, you asked a question about fiscal policy that was sharper than anything the panelists had said all day. I remember thinking, that woman is brilliant. My eyes filled with tears. I couldn't help it. Nobody had called me brilliant in 8 years. You also used to paint, he said gently. I saw you once at an art exhibition in Ikoyi. You were standing in front of a canvas, and you had this look on your face like you were seeing God. How do you remember all this? I whispered. Because you were memorable, Sarah. You still are. That was the hook. That was the moment I fell. Not for him, really, but for the version of myself I saw reflected in his eyes. The version that was smart, the version that mattered. We started meeting twice a week, then 3 times, then almost every day. He'd take me to quiet galleries in Ikoyi. We'd walk through Nike Art Gallery, and he'd ask me what I thought about the pieces. He'd listen like my opinions were valuable. We'd sit in his car, an old Honda that smelled like air freshener and ambition, and just talk for hours. I told him things I hadn't told anyone. I told him about growing up in Owerri, about my mother's rough hands from frying akara for 20 years, about how I used to walk 4 kilometers to school because we couldn't afford transport. I told him how sometimes I would look at my walk-in closet full of designer clothes and feel like a fraud. You're not a fraud, he said. You worked for everything you have. I didn't work for it. David did. You worked for David. That's not the same as being given something. He made me feel seen. He made me feel real. And yes, eventually, we slept together. It happened in September 2023. He'd rented a small apartment in Surulere, just a 1-bedroom with basic furniture. It wasn't fancy. The AC was old and loud. The bed was small. But when he touched me, I felt like a woman again, not a trophy wife. When he kissed me, I didn't feel like I was performing. I felt alive. The affair continued for 6 months. The guilt was crushing. I'd come home and look at my children and feel like a monster. I'd see David at the dining table and feel sick, but I couldn't stop. Kola was my oxygen. He was the only thing keeping me from suffocating in that big, beautiful house. And David didn't notice, or so I thought. He actually started encouraging me to go out more. In early 2024, he started handing me cash on Friday afternoons. Sarah, you seem happier lately. That's good. Take this. Go have a spa day. Go shopping. Go see your friends. You deserve it. He would give me 300,000, 500,000 naira at a time. I thought he was feeling guilty for neglecting me. I thought maybe he'd noticed I'd lost weight, that I was smiling again, and he was trying to support me in his own distant way. I was so stupid. The day after the bank incident, I went to David's office in the house. He was at a meeting in Abuja. I was desperate. I needed to understand what was happening. I started going through his desk. I wasn't even sure what I was looking for. Evidence? Proof? Something to make sense of the nightmare? I found a small black USB drive hidden in the lining of an old laptop bag, tucked behind the zipper in a little pocket I wouldn't have noticed if I hadn't been tearing the bag apart. I plugged it into his desktop computer. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely use the mouse. There were folders labeled Project Sarah. Inside were subfolders: surveillance, financial, legal strategy, evidence. I clicked on surveillance first. There were thousands of photos, high-resolution photos of me and Kola, photos of us entering the apartment in Surulere, photos of us at Cafe Neo, photos of us at Nike Art Gallery, photos of us in his car, laughing, photos of us kissing in the parking lot of the Palms. The metadata showed dates and times: August 2023, September 2023, October 2023. Every single meeting we'd had, documented like a criminal investigation. There were also audio files. I clicked on one. It was a recording of me and Kola in the Surulere apartment. I could hear our voices. I could hear me laughing. I could hear me saying, "I haven't felt this happy in years." I felt like I was going to vomit. I opened the financial folder. There were payment schedules, bank transfer receipts, recipient, Kola, amount 2 million naira, January 2024. Description: consultation services, phase 1, recipient, Kola, amount 3 million naira, March 2024. Description: consultation services, phase 2, extended engagement, recipient, Kola, amount 1,500,000 naira, April 2024. Description: bonus for satisfactory performance. There were also emails between David and Kola dating back to July 2023, before I ever met Kola at ShopRite. From to date, the 18th of July 2023. Subject: engagement strategy. Kola, here's what you need to know. My wife is smart but emotionally starved. She used to paint mention that. She used to follow economic policy mention that. She's from Owerri and worked her way up. Show respect for that. Don't come on too strong. Be the nice guy. Be the listener. She hasn't had anyone actually listen to her in 5 years. That's your opening. I need this to look organic. I need her distracted and compromised. Timeline: 6 to 8 months. Compensation as discussed. I felt like the floor had opened up beneath me. Kola wasn't my lover. Kola was an employee. David had hired him to seduce me. He'd found a former junior consultant from one of his old contracts, a man who was desperate for money, and he'd given him a script. David knew what books I liked. He knew about my painting. He gave Kola the keys to my heart so he could keep me occupied while he used my name to launder money from the ministry. He needed me to be a wayward wife. He needed a narrative. If the EFCC came, he could say, "I didn't know what my wife was doing. She was always out with this man. She was the one managing those accounts. Look at her bank statements. Look at the money she spent on hotels, on gifts for her boyfriend. She betrayed me, and she betrayed Nigeria." The legal strategy folder was the final knife. There were draft affidavits, character witness statements from people I thought were my friends, all saying they'd noticed changes in Sarah's behavior, that had become secretive, that had been spending recklessly. There was even a statement from Mrs. Adebayo, our cook, saying she'd noticed I was always on my phone, smiling and leaving the house at odd hours. David had built an entire case, and I had helped him build it by signing every paper he put in front of me. I sat in that office for 2 hours. reading every file. There were contracts I'd supposedly negotiated, board meetings I'd supposedly attended, financial decisions I'd supposedly made. All fake, all fabricated, but all bearing my signature, my BVN, my identity. I finally understood the full picture. David had been setting this up for over 2 years. He'd registered companies in my name. He'd opened bank accounts in my name. He'd created an entire financial identity for me that I knew nothing about. And when the ministry contracts came through the inflated, fraudulent contracts that were designed to siphon billions, the money flowed through my companies. On paper, I was the mastermind. I was the one who had the connections, the accounts, the authority. David's name appeared nowhere except as my supportive husband who occasionally signed off on things as a co-signatory. And when I started the affair with Kola, that was just the final piece that gave him motive. That gave him the narrative. My wife became involved with another man. She started making reckless decisions. She betrayed our marriage and our country. I drove to Surulere that night. I didn't even call. I burst into that apartment. Kola was there, watching TV in a singlet and shorts. When he saw my face, the remote fell from his hand. "He paid you," I said. My voice didn't sound like my own. "He paid you to sleep with me." Kola's face crumpled. He didn't try to lie. He didn't try to pretend. He just started crying. "He's going to kill me if I talk, Sarah," he whispered. His whole body was shaking. "You don't know what kind of man he is." "I know exactly what kind of man he is," I screamed. "He's the kind of man who would destroy his wife to save himself. Did you ever care, even for a second?" Kola covered his face with his hands. "I did," he said, his voice breaking. "At first, it was just the money. My mother has kidney disease. She needed dialysis. I was drowning in medical bills. When David approached me with the offer, it seemed like the answer to everything. 2 million just to befriend you. 3 million if I could get you emotionally attached. It seemed like easy money." "Easy money," I repeated. I felt numb. But then I met you, Sarah. I met the real you. You're brilliant. You're kind. You deserve so much better than what he was giving you. I tried to warn you. I tried to tell you to stop signing things. Do you remember? In January, I asked you if you knew what you were signing at home. You laughed and said David handled all that. I did remember. I thought it was a strange question at the time, but I'd brushed it off. I tried to get out, Kola continued. In February, I told David I couldn't do it anymore. I told him I cared about you too much. You know what he said? He said if I stopped, he'd frame me for the fraud too. He showed me documents with my name on them, consultation agreements, invoices. He said he'd tell the EFCC I was your co-conspirator, that we'd planned the whole thing together. He said with my background, no money, no connections, I'd rot in prison while you might get bail. He gave me another $1 million and told me to keep going. So you did, I said flatly. I didn't know what else to do, he sobbed. My mother would die without the treatment. I have 2 younger sisters in university. I'm all they have. I'm not proud of it, Sarah. I'm disgusted with myself. But I was trapped. I looked at him, this man I thought was my salvation, and I felt nothing but pity. He was just another one of David's tools, another victim, another person whose desperation David had exploited. I can't help you, I said quietly. I can't even help myself. I left him there, crying on that small bed where I'd once felt alive. When David got back from Abuja the next night, I was waiting in his office. I didn't turn on the lights. I just sat there in the dark, in his leather chair, surrounded by his awards and his framed photos of himself with governors and senators. When he walked in and flipped the switch, he didn't look surprised at all. He just put his briefcase on the desk and loosened his tie. "I assume you went to the bank," he said calmly. "You hired him," I said. My voice was hollow, empty. "You paid a man to sleep with your wife." David sat down across from me. He didn't look like a villain. He looked tired. He looked like a businessman closing a difficult deal. "I gave you what you wanted, Sarah. You wanted attention. You wanted to feel seen. I couldn't give you that. I was too busy making sure we didn't end up back in Owerri, back in that compound where your mother still smells like palm oil and your father's lungs are giving out from breathing exhaust fumes for 30 years. I saved us from that. So yes, I outsourced the emotional labor. I hired someone to make you happy so I could focus on keeping us rich. You used my name to steal billions, David. The EFCC is going to arrest me." He leaned back in his chair. "They aren't going to arrest you yet. My lawyers are already in talks. These things take time. Investigations, evidence review, negotiations. But yes, on paper, you are the managing director of Sarah Jade Global. You signed the contracts, you signed the board resolutions, you attended meetings according to the minutes, and the money from those ministry contracts went into accounts you control." "Accounts you control," I yelled. "My name isn't on them, Sarah. Yours is. And so is Kola's name as a consultant. On paper, it looks like a classic case. A director and her lover siphoning funds from government contracts. Happens all the time. If I discover this fraud as the grieving, betrayed husband, I stay clean. The family assets stay clean. The children are protected. The house stays in the family trust, which I control. You're going to let me go to prison." He looked at me for a long time. His eyes weren't cruel. They were just empty. "I told you years ago, Sarah, you are my backbone. Sometimes the backbone has to break to save the head. That's just anatomy." Then he brought it up. That night, 2 years ago, in December 2022, he'd come home at 1 a.m. and I'd been asleep. He'd woken me up, crying, saying a major deal had fallen through and he'd lost 20 million. I was exhausted. The children had been sick all week with flu, and I'd been up with them every night. I'd hugged him, told him it would be okay, and fallen back asleep. "That night I needed you, and you chose sleep," he said. His voice was cold. "That's when I knew you didn't love me. You loved what I provided, the house, the car, the lifestyle. But the man who was breaking himself to build an empire, you didn't care about him." "That's not fair," I whispered. I was exhausted. The kids were sick. I'd been alone with them all week while you were traveling. "And I was traveling to make money so you could live in Oniru instead of Owerri," he snapped. "But you didn't see that. You saw an inconvenience. So I stopped expecting you to see me at all. I stopped expecting emotional support. I stopped expecting partnership. I accepted that our marriage was a transaction. I provide resources, you manage the home. When you started the affair, honestly, I was relieved. It meant you'd stop bothering me about connection and communication. It meant I could walk in peace. So you destroyed me. I protected my assets," he corrected. "There's a difference. Look, Sarah, I'll make sure the kids are fine. They'll stay in good schools. They'll have everything they need. And eventually, I'll get you out. A year, maybe 2, in a low security facility. Maybe even house arrest, if my lawyers are good enough. It's not ideal, but it's better than all of us losing everything. Better than our children growing up poor like we did. You're using our poverty as an excuse to commit fraud and destroy your wife. I'm using our poverty as a reason to never go back." he said simply. And if that means you have to take a fall, then that's what it means. You'll survive. You're strong. You survived Oweri. You'll survive this. The cruelty of it took my breath away. He genuinely believed he was being reasonable. He genuinely believed that sacrificing me was a sound business decision. What if I tell them everything? I asked. What if I go to the EFCC myself and explain what you did? He smiled. Not a warm smile. A patient, condescending smile. Then it becomes a he said, she said situation. And who do you think they'll believe? The respected businessman with no criminal record and dozens of character witnesses? Or the unfaithful wife with her lover's name on the same documents who spent millions on hotels and gifts while her husband was working? You have no proof, Sarah. I've been very careful. Every instruction I gave you was verbal. Every document you signed looked legitimate. Your affair is documented in photos, recordings, and witness statements. My grief and betrayal are documented in therapy sessions I've been attending for 3 months. You've been seeing a therapist who would testify that I came to her in distress about my wife's infidelity and erratic behavior, that I was trying to save my marriage while you were spiraling. It's all part of the record now. He thought of everything, every possible angle, every defense I might mount, he'd already neutralized. I'll make sure your mother is taken care of, he added, as if he were doing me a favor. She'll never have to sell akara again. Your father will get proper medical treatment for his lungs. Your siblings' children will have school fees paid. That's my promise to you. Take the fall gracefully, and your family will be comfortable for life. Fight me, and I'll make sure they lose everything too. He was threatening my family, my mother, my father. He knew that was the one thing I couldn't bear. I stood up. My legs felt like water. I loved you, I said. I really, really loved you. I know, he said. That's why this worked. I walked out of that office and went to the guest room. I locked the door. I could hear David on the phone in the hallway, his voice smooth and concerned. Yes, Pastor. I'm very worried about her. She's been acting strangely. I think she might be having some kind of breakdown. Yes. I've tried to get her to see someone. No, she refuses. Pray for us, Pastor. The children are so confused. He was setting the stage. By morning, everyone at church would know that Sarah Okoro was unwell. By next week, everyone in our social circle would have heard that I was unstable. When the EFCC announcement came, nobody would be surprised. They'd all nod sadly and say, "We knew something was wrong with her." I tried calling my best friend Chioma. We'd known each other since secondary school. If anyone would believe me, it would be her. "Sarah," she answered. "How are you? I've been meaning to call you. David mentioned you haven't been feeling well." My heart sank. He'd already gotten to her. "Chioma, I need to tell you something. David is..." "Sarah, sweetheart, I know marriage is hard. Trust me, Emeka and I went through a rough patch last year. But you have to communicate with David. He's so worried about you." He called Emeka yesterday, almost in tears. He said you've been distant, secretive. He thinks you might be depressed. "I'm not depressed, Chuma. He's framing me for fraud." There was a long pause. "Sarah, do you hear yourself? That's a very serious accusation. Maybe you should see someone, a therapist." David said he's been trying to get you to go, but you refuse. He's lying. "Sarah, David loves you. Everyone can see that. Why would he frame his own wife? That doesn't make any sense. Look, I think you're under a lot of stress. Maybe the pressure of the lifestyle, the expectations is getting to you. let me come over tomorrow. We can talk. Maybe I can help you find a good therapist. I hung up. She didn't believe me. My best friend of 15 years didn't believe me. I tried my younger sister, Adaeze. She picked up on the first ring. Sister Sarah, how now? How are the children? Ada, I need your help. I'm in trouble. What kind of trouble? Her voice immediately filled with concern. I told her everything. The bank, the documents, the affair, Kola, David's plan, everything. When I finished, there was silence. Ada, sister. Her voice was small. Brother David called Papa 3 days ago. He said you've been behaving strangely. He said you've been spending money recklessly and acting paranoid. He sent Papa 2 million naira for his medical treatment. He said it was from both of you, but he wanted to make sure Papa had it in case something happened to you. In case I went to prison, you mean? Sister, I don't understand. Why would Brother David do this? He's been so good to our family. He paid for my wedding. He paid for Chidi's school fees. He built Mama a new shop. Why would he? Because he's smart, Ada. He bought you all. He bought your loyalty. So when I go down, none of you will believe me. Sister, I believe you, she said, but I could hear the doubt in her voice. But maybe you're confused. Maybe you signed things and forgot. It's been stressful, managing that big house, raising the children. I'm not confused, I shouted. Then I heard it, in the background of Ada's call, my mother's voice. Who is that? Is that Sarah? Give me the phone. Mama, give me the phone. There was shuffling. Then my mother's voice, sharp and worried. Sarah, what is this nonsense Ada is telling me? What is this talk about David framing you? Mama, it's true. Shut up, she snapped. Do you know what that man has done for this family? Do you know I sleep under a roof that doesn't leak because of him? Do you know your father went to the hospital last week and didn't have to beg doctors for treatments because of him? That man is a blessing from God. Mama, please listen. No, you listen. I didn't raise you to be ungrateful. I didn't suffer for 20 years so you could destroy a good man's name because you're unhappy. You have everything. You live in a mansion. Your children go to the best schools. And you want to destroy it because of what? Because you're bored? Because he works too much? Mama, he hired a man to sleep with me so he could frame me for fraud. There was a long, terrible silence. You slept with another man? My mother's voice was cold. You committed adultery? Mama, you are my daughter, but you are also a disgrace. I didn't raise you in a Christian home to become an ashawo. David has every right to be angry. If he wants to divorce you, I will support him. But don't you dare try to destroy that man because you couldn't keep your legs closed. She hung up. I sat on the floor of the guest room and realized I was truly alone. David hadn't just framed me for fraud. He'd systematically destroyed every relationship I had. My friends believed him. My family believed him. Even my own mother chose him over me. I am currently still locked in this guest room. It's 3 a.m. I can hear David snoring in the master bedroom down the hall. He's sleeping peacefully. Why wouldn't he? He's won. I have no money. My cards are blocked. I have no friends who will help me. My family thinks I'm crazy and ungrateful. The only person who might help is Sunday, my driver, but I don't even know if I can trust him. David pays his salary. David pays everyone's salary. I tried to Google lawyers for EFCC cases, but every firm I found wanted a retainer of at least 5 million naira upfront. I have nothing. I am the wife of a billionaire, and I have nothing. I looked out the window. I thought about running. just taking the children and disappearing. But where would I go? How would I survive? David has frozen everything, and if I run, it will only make me look guilty. I am Sarah. I am a smart girl from Owerri who worked herself out of poverty. I married a man I loved, and I became the instrument of my own destruction. I signed my name to my own prison sentence because I trusted the man who promised to build a future for me. I don't know if anyone will read this. I don't know if it matters, but I need it written down. I need someone to know that I existed beyond the headlines that are coming, beyond the CEO arrested for fraud story that will be on social media, beyond the photos of me doing the walk of shame in EFCC custody. I was real, I was human, I loved, I trusted, and I was destroyed by the person who promised to protect me. If there's a lawyer out there who isn't afraid of a man who owns half of Oniro, if there's anyone who has survived being a shell wife, if there's any way to prove what he did, please, I'm still here, I'm still breathing, but the air is getting very, very thin. I'll keep the comments open as long as I have battery. It's at 23% now. When it dies, I don't know what happens next. But I need someone to know I tried. I need someone to know I didn't just accept this quietly. I am Sarah, and I am not going down without a fight, even if I don't know how to fight yet.